Hello, welcome to Mortgage 101. I'm Lisa Dwyer, your host, and we have a great show today. I'm very, very excited to have George Paulson here. He is a home inspector. He is going to help us understand the importance of getting an inspection and really some great facts about your home and things that you should know or look for when you're purchasing, or even if you're just looking to remodel or just improve your lifestyle there. I've been in the mortgage industry for 15 years. I love what I do. I love helping people save money and try to help you understand everything that surrounds a mortgage, whether it be an appraisal, an inspection, your title work, trust, deeds. There's just so much understanding the mortgage process. So sometimes I get excited and I talk really fast, but don't fret. I do have everything on a transcript, so if you ever have any questions, you can contact me at 248-627-7283 or email me at mortgagesaver, M-T-G-Saver, S-A-V-E-R, @gmail. Well, George, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
I am really excited to have you. You are a busy man.
I apologize for
No,
having to miss a few, but
no,
made
you're
it
just
today.
very busy, and that's awesome. That means that you're trying to help as many people as you can, right? I mean, you can only fit so much in a day.
Well, you're looking at 2 to 3 hours per inspection, plus other appointments you have to keep. So yes, it does get very busy at
Sure.
times.
How long have you been in the business?
Going on my 3rd year, and I just got 322 inspections last Friday.
Wow.
It's been
That's
quite
amazing.
a ride.
It's a blessing, really.
It's a blessing how I got here. I'm a home builder, did remodeling, and the real estate market slipped, so I joined a home improvement concern in Davison, and I wasn't that happy doing it. I enjoyed being more part of the action than just sales, and I was unhappy, and I got a call from a realtor friend of mine. He said, "Do you do inspections?" I said, "I don't know anything about it." He said, "Well, I need somebody like you. You know the business, you know how things go together, systems, how they work, and I need somebody personable."
That's awesome.
So I took a leap of faith, started Trinity Home Inspections, and like I said, it's been going on 3 years now.
Wow, that's awesome. Are you by yourself? Do you have employees?
It's just me now. In the future, who knows? I think it would be fun to have a couple other people to help run around, because it could be that busy.
Sure.
So
well,
we'll
that's
see what
a lot
happens.
Of appointments just last week.
For everyone I'm on, I miss another one.
Wow,
So-
that is crazy. Well, I wish you lots of success.
Well,
I think
thank you.
you'll be awesome. So let's start with talking about a little bit. What does an inspection cover?
There is a set of standards laid out by the American Society of Home Inspectors, standards of practice which we have to inspect while we're there. I follow those to a T. Now, in layman's terms, complete inside and out. You go from the outside, look at all the condition of the siding, the windows, the roof. We'll get up on the roof, inspect the chimney, the flashings, gutters, you name it. Then we'll get inside. We'll get into crawl space or the basement. That way we can look at the foundation. In one of those two places, you'll find the furnace, the water heater, electrical panel. That's next step. Then we go through the whole house. We'll check the windows, the bathrooms, the flooring, condition of everything. It's all compiled in a report. I actually brought one
From the bookshelf.
from the bookshelf. It's a 3-ring binder. It's broken up into sections.
Very good.
Each section's very detailed.
Well, I mean, I would love to have you on the show again when you have time, of course, and really go through, just do a whole show on what's included in a report.
That I could fill a whole show with that.
Absolutely, yeah, because I think that it's really important for people to understand. As a mortgage professional, excuse me, we encourage people to have an inspection. When I tell them it's like buying a car, but 1,000 times worse than that. You have invested and are putting in a lot of money for your home, and for you to just buy it without getting an inspection is very dangerous. It could be very costly. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. And I tell people that. This is usually the largest purchase anybody makes.
That's right.
You need to have a quality inspector, somebody who knows what they're doing, that follows a system and process to cover everything that you need to know about that structure, good and bad.
Absolutely.
You don't want any surprises a year or two down the road.
Right, and I try to tell them, and I've seen a lot of inspections. I've seen a lot of reports, I should say. And some of them are as ridiculous as a one-page, and it says refrigerator, and it just has a check. Furnace, check. I mean, it's just, you really want to find somebody. How do you get accredited, or what's the process for you?
In the state of Michigan, there is no required license to do home inspections.
That's the problem.
It's a huge problem.
Yeah.
There are classes where you get a certificate shows you how to do it. Now, I'm very involved in ASHI, in their standards, American Society of Home Inspectors.
Okay.
They provide that report. I do everything according to their guidelines.
Very good.
That way I'm covered. I also do a lot of self-education. I stay in touch with 2 other inspectors, competitors, but we get together, we have coffee, talk about what's going on.
Sure.
The building trades, I maintain my own license still, and I talk to a lot of the tradesmen that I've used. Hey, I saw this system, how's that work? What's this new system? So I have to stay up on what's out there.
Right.
Where when there's no license required, there's a lot of guys that do not do that.
Sure.
So
Cutting edge, you really do.
It's important. Ask these questions. Do you do this? What do you cover?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, for example, let's just before the break, let's just talk about that. When you get a phone call, for example, let's say I'm the phone call. All right. Hi, George. I was referred to you. I would like an inspection. What does that entail?
Well, Lisa, let me tell you. First of all, I do a complete inspection inside and out, top to bottom, with standards set by the American Society of Home Inspectors, and you'll get a report at that time. And then I describe. I go through the old outside and then go inside just like I described before.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Then I need to know the size of the home and then schedule from that point on.
Right. Perfect. And do you get people who are not purchasing that just live in their home that want to get an inspection, or someone maybe who did a land contract and didn't get the mortgage side of it and they want an inspection as well?
Occasionally. A lot of times I'll get a pre-inspection. People will want me to come in, they're thinking about putting their house on the market. They'll have me come in and do a pre-inspection to let them know what I would see as a buyer.
Right.
Then that way they can they can get all those issues taken care of, so when an inspector does show up, they don't have to handle it at that time.
That's great. Well, you are an asset. You really are, because people don't realize. I mean, there could be something, and I had that with my home. I had an inspector who wasn't that great, and I ended up having some problems in my home. And had I had somebody that really, I say, wormed through, right? I mean, you're crawling through stuff. You're getting dirty.
It's not pretty sometimes.
Oh, that's great. Okay, how we know this, right? How long you've been practicing? Are you specifically experienced in residential inspections?
Yes, that's my focus. Now, commercial, I've done a lot of those. Same systems are in place. Difference is if you're buying a commercial building as opposed to leasing space. Most of the time, people are buying or leasing space for an office. You don't need an inspection. Those things are handled.
Right.
Purchase side, most of it's residential. That's where I concentrate all my time.
So you look at electrical. I mean, do you look at all of that? And because your builder's license background, you can see these things more clearly.
Well, you got to take the panel off the electrical box. You check for the ground, make sure there's no double taps, which is 2 wires going to a breaker. Check all the sockets. I have a tool to make sure they're all grounded. Make sure the GFIs are working. When you get up in the attic, it's very common to find wires just spliced with wire nuts, not in junction boxes.
Sure.
Finished basements, same thing. So it's important to look for those because that's a hazard going down the road.
Very good. Very good. So much information. You do. You have so much information. Do you offer to do repairs and improvements for the homeowner?
Now that's a touchy area. I'm there for an inspection. I want to tell you what's going on with your house. If I do a home for you, here's these issues we have. You're going to take that with your realtor and go back and negotiate those to be fixed. Do you do that? I get asked that a lot. Yes, I do. But for right now, handle this. Then I'll get calls later. Here's what we need addressed. Wasn't negotiated at the time. Or we're in the house now. We'd like you to fix that deck. That was.
Sure.
But I don't even press it at that time. I can do this.
You're giving them the report, and then it's up to them.
You're buying a house. You got enough to worry about. Sure. Here's the situations I found. We can talk later. Go negotiate it. See what happens.
Sure. Sure. Well, that makes sense, but to have that option, and once people get to know you and see you and they like and trust you, right? So then they're going to want you to do their work as well.
Well, and there's referrals too. Hey,
Sure.
call so-and-so, I did their house and I did this.
Right.
I don't ever just, and I'm licensed.
Right.
I've got a track record check on me.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we'll be right back with George Paulson. We have a great show today. Thanks for watching.
Celebrate the arrival of spring and hop on over to the Orient Center on Saturday, March 29th for the 2014 Bunny Bop. Bring a basket to hunt for eggs filled with candy and prizes. Families can enjoy a pancake breakfast or create fun craft projects. And of course, the Easter Bunny will be there for a special photo opportunity. The family-friendly fun starts at 10 a.m. Pre-registration is required. For more information, visit orienttownship.org or call 248-391-0304, extension 305.
Welcome back. I'm Lisa Dwyer, and this is George Paulson, and he is our professional home inspector today. And we are talking about the accreditations that it takes to become a home inspector, the qualifications, his background, and just how important it is for you to be protected when you're purchasing a home. We're going to talk a little bit about a couple samples that you've had, or examples of that, and how long does a normal inspection take?
That will vary, and vary quite a bit. I tell people plan on 2 to 3 hours, but that has everything to do with the condition of the house and the people. Now, condition of the house, will start there. If it's very clean, we can zip through, things are available and accessible. I've been in homes where it doesn't look like the people are leaving. That gives you challenges. I have to get in and around stuff.
Right.
Liability-wise, I can't move things. So I have to somehow get in and behind, move what I can to see what I need to see. Sometimes, especially in those situations, the buyers are there. I can get some help doing that. Now, if I'm in a home where I can breeze through, quick. Here's the other side. I'm there for you.
Sure.
You want to know what's going on with the house. It's up to me to make sure you understand everything that I'm looking at. So, for example, we'll get there and I'll tell you, hey, I have a routine I go through, but this is a great time for you to look at the house. If you see anything, bring it up, because the more eyes, the better.
Right.
I will stop at that time and we'll address it. Same with me. If I see something during my routine, I will bring you there and discuss at that time. That way, when we go through the report at the end, it's kind of a review.
Right.
But everybody's on the same page. Now, that could take a while. Last Friday, I was at a home. It was actually in good shape. The homeowner wanted to know about radiant heat because it had that in there. It had some fireplaces. He wasn't sure about that. I was there over 3.5 hours just talking about the systems and what needs to be done moving forward.
That's
Checks,
awesome.
balance, and services. So it really depends, size of home and the clients. But when I leave there, I want you to be completely comfortable with everything that was said and discussed.
Very good. That is so above and beyond. You know that too, right? I mean, that's
I
just
hear
like
about
me.
it. There's the personal side. I
Right.
mentioned that my buddy said I need somebody that's personable. You've looked for houses, you've entered offers, and you finally got one accepted, and now you're here and it's all subject to me.
Right.
When I walk in, everybody's walking on eggshells, and I know that.
Right.
So I like to take the time. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I want you to do. Let's do this together, and at the end, we'll do a review and answer any questions.
So do you invite the new owner to the inspection with you?
Absolutely. I'm floored at the amount of people that will ask me that. Can I be there? And it shocks me. You bought this.
Right.
I want you there. I want to take you
Right.
down and show you the furnace.
Right.
I want to show you where the gutter's pulling away from the house. I need you to see the electrical panel and what needs to be done. Now, there's chance you might not be able to be there. You're busy.
Right.
You're doing
Most people
this.
are
You got
working.
appointments.
Right. Sure.
I'll do that and take pictures and meet you later, but I strongly recommend the buyer to be there.
Okay, so when we're getting a home, when we're purchasing a home, right, for our clients, and we're getting everything together, we have to have the water on and the electric on. Is this the same for you?
Yes, I'm not going to turn on water. I'm not going to flip the switch on the electrical box. Those need to be on, especially in the day of foreclosures. I need those things on because I'm not liable. Here's an example.
Okay.
One of the inspectors that I mentioned that I counsel with, He was at a home, it was vacant, they had rescheduled twice, the water still wasn't on. He made a decision, I'm going to turn on the water and help these people out. Turned on the water, there was a break in the water line, the whole ceiling fell in the living room.
Oh.
It doesn't take a lot for water to do that. Now he's liable. He has to fix that. The bank's not going to do it. They didn't know, they didn't turn it on, so it's not their problem.
That's
So
horrible.
those things need to be on when I get there. Now that's a deal with the realtor. They'll handle that.
Sure. Yeah, we have to schedule that and get it. We try to correlate it together. So when the appraisal's being done, they'll give us usually 3 days with power and water. So we try to schedule, and I know it's so hard when you are busy.
It is, but it's important to have those turned on so the liability is off us.
Sure.
And the buyer. That way everything's done the way it's supposed to be. It opens up the whole can of worms.
Absolutely.
Lighting a furnace, I can't do that. If I light a furnace and crank it up, something goes haywire. It's on me.
Right.
It's on you.
Right.
And all we're going to hear from the bank or somebody else is, well, why are you doing that?
Right. Now, do you have to have insurance? Like, we have to be bonded, things like that. What kind of insurance do you have?
In the state of Michigan, again, you don't need a license. I'm liable for my fee only. If I do something like I just mentioned, I have liability that covers that.
It's a liability
It's
coverage.
my personal. If I'm inspecting the roof and I fall off, you'd just drag me to the street and call my wife. But I'm covered if something happens. I have not yet.
Well, that's good. That was my next question. Have we fallen through anything?
And
No.
I didn't ask that when I got my policy either.
What about septic fields and things like that?
Funny you mentioned that. In the state of Michigan, you have to be certified to do a well and septic test. I jobbed that out. Can I plug their name?
Absolutely. Yeah.
D&H Environmental.
Yes.
I use them all the time. They come out, they'll open up the septic tank. They'll run all the water in the house to make sure the water maintains its level.
Yep, we've used them.
Then you know who they are. Dig
Yeah.
a couple holes in the field.
Yep.
They've saved a couple jobs for me. I had a client. We agreed on the inspection and the water test. It was on a well and septic, but he was concerned about the expense for the well and septic. And I told him, this is a huge purchase. Why are you going to balk at that?
Yeah.
If they find something wrong with the septic,
Absolutely.
that's 20 grand. Well,
Easy,
they did.
right?
They dug up the field, it was saturated, it's done.
Oh.
He come in the house, I was halfway through my inspection. He said, I'm out of the deal, what do I do with you? And I said, yeah, let's go have pizza. But
Wow. But
just
it
that
saved
little
him. That's right.
saved him huge.
It's so important. I cannot stress enough how important you are. I mean, you're a vital part of somebody's, really, their income and their expenses and their,
It's
I mean, they're
huge.
going to have to spend a lot of money if they are not preemptive in hiring you.
And who buys a $200,000 house and has an extra 50 laying around to handle those issues? That's why you get inspections done.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you so much. We have so much more to talk about. We're going to talk about how much it costs. We're going to talk about an actual report and when the people get the report and how that works out. It's so important, and I hope we're conveying that. I mean, think about how hard you work for your money, and just by being educated on the things in your home can really save you. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ed Ratzenberger. The Oregon Center has a Seniors Advisory Council. It is a group of 12 people who volunteer to help the Oregon Center staff with their efforts to provide the programs and services of the Oregon Center for the seniors of our community. The center would like your assistance in order to help determine the activities and services that seniors prefer. The center is a comfortable and enjoyable place for you to visit, to meet with your friends, and to make new friends. You're welcome to provide your suggestions for activities and services, for your general observations, for your complaints, and for your positive comments. If you would like to give your thoughts to the Advisory Council, please stop by the Oregon Center and deposit your comments in one of the boxes that the Advisory Council has made available. If you want to include your contact information, we will respond to you within a few days. Or if you prefer, we also welcome and value anonymous comments. All contributions will be discussed. We hope you will respond, and we thank you in advance for your help. It is a pleasant place to enjoy and does not cost a penny to be a member. Membership in the seniors group is free. Thank you for your time. We look forward to hearing from you and to meeting you. Take care.
We own a Habitat home.
I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I paid for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Welcome back. I'm Lisa Dwyer. This is George Paulson, and we are so excited today. We're going to talk about home inspections and their cost and what you get with your inspection. So George, I know we talked about how long it takes, and really what you came down to was anywhere from an hour and a half to 3.5, 4 hours, depending on the home and what's in the house when you're when you're going to the inspection. Let's talk a little bit about the cost.
Cost, again, it goes back to there's no license. So there's a lot of different people doing inspections. Now, there's a cost to mine. I have that report I showed you.
Yes.
Every time I hand that to a buyer, it's $23. My price for an inspection is between $300 to $500, depending on the size of the home. Sometimes it's cheaper. There's guys, I always use this example. When I took the class to get certified, I was in there with 2 other gentlemen, one a plumber and one a painter, both gainfully employed full-time. They were looking at doing this on the side for beer money or going fishing. And they were very vocal about it. This was a business to me. I was leaving my job to start a new concern.
Right.
That's my competition. So if you're going to spend all this money on a house and then get a deal from
Right, the guy who wants beer money.
$100, well, that's his focus.
You're going to get a $100 report, though. That was my point. If you know, and not so much that you cost so much because you're getting such an, I think you're very fairly priced.
I'm within, with the range of inspectors that do what I do, certified and follow the ASHI standards, that's at par with them. And that's where we are.
And it is truly, you get what you pay for. Like I said.
If you're spending all this money on a house, isn't it worth it to spend a few $100s more to have it done right, have things done so
and
there's
get
no
results.
surprises?
You get the report. I mean, it's a very detailed report. Like I said, the 1-pager with check marks. I mean, I am not an inspector, and I could have walked in the house and put check marks when I walked by the furnace. And I mean, it's just, it was ridiculous.
Now, in this, there are check marks.
No, that I'm just saying it was a piece of paper that said refrigerator.
I'm having fun with you. But everything, can I show this?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I think that that's important for people to know.
As you can see, there's tabs.
Yeah.
Every section is very detailed.
Yes.
There are boxes to check, but there's places to make notes.
Sure.
Everything on this page, which is where I write, corresponds to that page. So you as the home buyer, if you go home that night and read it, what was he talking about? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
If it still doesn't make sense,
sure.
These are carbons. I take one with me, and one goes to the realtor. You can call me and say, hey, what's going on? I pulled it out at home. I can refresh my memory.
That's awesome. Let's go through it. Let's go through the tabs. Just the main parts of it, you know, that you feel like, you know, grounds, exterior, just
This
just
first
a quick
part,
summary.
Quick summary. It even tells you how to use the book. When I was there, time. Grounds are self-explanatory. Exteriors, I told you about that.
Yeah.
Roof, siding.
Yeah.
Foundation, that's getting down in the crawl space.
You even like get
basement.
into sprinklers, things like that, gutters.
Sprinklers are beyond standards. Most of the time they're shut off. That's usually disclosed in the seller statements.
Yep.
So I don't mess with those too much.
Very good.
Now, outside spigots, sure.
Yep. We have horses, and I'll tell you, in the winter.
I don't do horses.
In the winter, our outside spigots are always frozen. So things like, you know, if you're going into a home and you're checking that stuff and it's winter, and if the water's not on or if it's frozen, you would just put in there, it frozen, unable to test, or so that they know.
That's a big one. Suggest frost-free hose bibs. Most of the time in the winter, people do turn them off.
Yeah.
The new anti-siphon ones, those can be left on, but I check all that. If I turn it on, nothing comes out, I check it underneath.
Right.
Make sure they're turned off.
Very
That'll
good.
tell you if it's frozen.
Right, right.
Foundation's a big one. That's where we look at the walls in the basement. If it's a crawl space, I get in there. That's fun. Even there's a whole
with
section
the spiders and the whatever.
Don't give me this. I have a twitch. The roof, we get up there if possible. I don't get up there if there's snow and there's
Sure,
two-story steep
absolutely,
ones.
yeah.
But if I can get up there, I take a good look at it. If I can't get up there, when I'm in the attic and I walk through the attic, I don't put my head up there. You can see underneath. Check the sheathing as well. Go around the chimney. You can see if there's any problems.
Great.
And then you got plumbing, heating, electrical. Electrical is a big one. I told you I check all the plugs.
Yes.
There's a big section for all the outlets.
Wow. Very good.
All the interiors, laundry. I did mention the attic.
Ceilings, floors, fireplaces. Look at this. So I mean, it's so important. It's just crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a report like this. I'm really impressed.
There's an expense to it, so you don't see a lot of guys. A lot of guys have software. Both are fine because they both follow the standards.
Right.
A big reason I use this, I can hand it to you when we're done, and I can leave. If you have to wait for me to email you a report, something might happen to me.
Right.
Driving
so
home.
So the client gets the report the day of?
This is it.
That's awesome.
It's in a binder, and I tell everybody, hang on to this.
Absolutely.
This is your home. All the improvements you make, slide in here. If and when you sell the house, you can sell it holding that to the new buyers.
Very good.
Here was the house the way it was, and here's what we did to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is so great. Well, it's just a pleasure having you here. I'd like to allow you to give people, of course, the opportunity to get a hold of you if you want to give them the information.
Yep. Call me, George Paulson, Trinity Home Inspections. My cell phone is 248-705-6792. If you don't get me and get a voicemail, please leave your information because odds are I'm in an attic or in a crawl space. So leave your information. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I really, really am excited.
Thanks for having me.
I think that you could really, if you would, maybe when it slows down after spring, come back on the show and maybe we can do a little bit more detail on specific things that you do.
I could bring some stories and review some stuff just to show how important it is when you're making the largest purchase ever.
Right.
To back it up with some knowledge and make sure you're getting what you see.
Right. It is important. And thanks again for being on the show. I really did appreciate meeting you and really getting into what you do. I can see your passion, and I think that makes a huge difference in your quality.
You nailed it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks for watching today. We have an appraiser coming in. We have an insurance agent coming in. We've got lots of great shows coming up. And really, I'm here just to help you protect your biggest asset, and that is your home, and try to save you money. Keep it in your pocket where it belongs, right? Put it where you want to spend it, not where you have to spend it. So have a great week, and God bless.